How's it, y'all? Welcome to today's video. Today's video is an exciting one, and sorry if I seem tired, but wow, the last few days have been insane and just been very tiring, to be honest with you. So finally got some sleep, got some energy, and now I can finally just show you guys what I got. And I know on my Instagram it's been just going with a lot of updates, so I want to get this video out as soon as possible to you guys, so you guys can see the car after I've been kind of teasing you guys so much. So let me go ahead and get in the car real quick, and then we will go ahead and talk to you guys about it and give you a little reveal. So that being said, welcome to today's video. Hopefully you guys are having a good day, and let's start the intro. Alrighty guys, so we are in the car and I am going to walk out and show you guys what it is. I just wanted to say that there's a reason why I got this car, and that reason is because, one, I needed something that I know I wasn't going to spend a lot on and I was going to have to work on, but at the same time, something that parts were extremely cheap. So without further ado, here is my new to me car. So this is a 2003 Toyota Matrix XRS, and the cool thing about this is that, like, I wanted a hot hatch, I wanted to be able to put stuff in the back, and I wanted to be able to have something that has room in it. So it is extremely spacious in here. The back comes up, and also on the key fob, I got a key fob, guys. Like, I'm excited about that. I do have to replace the struts, unfortunately, because the struts don't hold very well. They hold for a little bit and then they're gone, but I got a key fob. I'm so excited. This is like the first key fob I've ever had for any of my cars, and now I get one for my daily, which is super sick. This is the way I got it. I haven't changed the car at all from the way I got it, and it does come with this this bar from factory, I guess. It's kind of like a dog bar or something. So I'm gonna go ahead right now and take this off, because yeah, this thing's beef. Actually, this thing's light as heck. Oh my god. But yeah, so we're gonna take this thing out because, well, I don't really want this to be in the way of anything, and I can't, with this bar here, I can't put these seats down, which these seats down is one of the other reasons why I wanted to get this, because check how much room out we got in here. Oh my god. Like, now I have a car, well, better said, now I have another car that I can put the seats down and have so much space in the back of here, besides the 4Runner, because obviously the 4Runner has a lot of space too. But with this car, I'm able to have a lot of space. There's a cup holder here, which I thought this was really cool. I was really excited to see this thing in person. Not really sure what it's for, but we can put cylinder heads back here. We can put miscellaneous stuff. This is the best grocery getter I think I could possibly, you know, have, which is so sick. It does need a lot of work though, I will not lie, but for me, this to me was the best option to get for a daily, and I was looking for one for about six months, and I started to save some money up. I had no idea I was going to get one this soon. I was looking for this on Marketplace and I couldn't find anything, and I wasn't trying to ask or reach out to anyone on listings, because if I don't have the money, I don't want to ask and you know, try to make up a date to meet and then not have the money, because I get lowballing, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to make a fool out of someone where they're asking for a listing price and I'm going like 4,000 underneath that. That's not me. I like to be able to give them a fair price, make sure I'm at the spot or wherever we're meeting, whatever day, whatever we set up, I want to be able to honor that. So funny thing is my roommate, he basically tells me that there's a car that he wants to get that is basically in the same area that the car I am sitting in right now is. And I immediately that day I hopped on to Marketplace, and this car had just been listed. So got onto it and contacted the seller. He didn't get back to me right away, and the seller of my roommate's car that he got, which I will show you guys in a future video, so stay tuned for that too, that seller didn't respond either. So we were like, you know what, don't worry, we'll have a week. At the time of this filming this was weekend before. So the weekend we are at right now, both sellers got back to us and they said, yeah, come out, check the cars, and we were off. We went, brought a trailer for the other car, and I drove this thing all the way back, which gave me a lot of indication of what's wrong with this thing. And there's a lot of things wrong with it, but the cool thing about this, which I can't even begin to tell you how many cool things there are, which, guys, I got a 6-speed. So with the XRS model, which this one is an XRS, it comes with the 6-speed manual transmission and a 2ZZ motor, which the 2ZZ motor is a motor that came in the Lotus Elise. And I think in the Lotus Elise, it was either supercharged or turbocharged. I'm not really sure on that, but it did come boosted. And so for me, with this car, I want to either turbocharge it or supercharge it, whatever one sounds like a better video to do. I know there are a bunch of videos on YouTube of people supercharging this, so I might turbocharge it, but whatever avenue people on YouTube haven't done with this car, I want to go down, because I want to build something on YouTube that no one's built before. And I want to kind of give you guys a series where it's like my daily driver, but it's also a fun car to drive, and I modify it tastefully, because this car is a very, very underappreciated car. Like, people don't know about these cars that much, and that is what made me say, yep, that's the car I want. Because for me, the gas mileage, I think it gets about 28 to 30 miles per gallon. It has a 13-gallon tank, so it's not that expensive to fill up as well. It has a 4-cylinder motor, which is high revving. This thing is amazing when it comes up to the high revs. It does need a few things, though, to make the driver experience 100%. But that's why we are making these videos, to show you guys how to get a car, to work on it. I'm not planning on selling this thing anytime soon, which it's funny too, because check this out. If I was to go sell this thing, it has 299,999 miles, and if you go to trip A, it has 3,556 miles on the trip A and trip B. The funny thing is, though, is that those miles actually weren't recorded on the main odometer, because this car stops reading at 299,999. I went onto the internet and I found out that Corollas, Priuses, and Matrixes all have this common thing that once you get to 299,999, the odometer stops working, because I guess Toyota was under the impression when this car came out in 2002, 2003, was that owners just weren't going to drive this that much. They weren't going to drive it all around town, so they just made the odometer stop. There is a fix for it. All you have to do is you send the cluster out and they reset it to 0, which I'm really, really excited about doing. And then obviously I'm going to put my own touch to the cluster, because you guys already know. If you guys haven't seen my SC, which if you guys want to go on my Instagram, there's videos of my SC cluster where it's like my customized colorway, and then the 4Runner also has the customized colorway as well. So this car is going to get the same treatment, and I'm super excited about that. I've already started looking at parts for this car, where unfortunately there's not a lot of aftermarket goodies for the car. There is, but there isn't. There's one main website that carries modifications for this, and it's Monkey Wrench Racing, which I have looked deeply into, and I'm definitely gonna be ordering a lot of stuff for this car off that website. I'm also looking at other websites too, because I just want to see what there is with this car as far as modifications go. Because the other reason why I wanted to get this car was because I knew that the modification aftermarket, like what they had available was very low on this car. Like there's not much available, but that to me was a challenge where I'm like, hey, you know what, even though the aftermarket options are limited for this car, I want to still make it super easy, fun to drive, super fun. And thankfully, because the motor is out of I believe the MR2s had them as well, or you would swap a 2ZZ into a Spider MR2 because they had the 1ZZ motor, and then obviously the Lotuses had them as well. There's a lot of goodies for this motor as far as intake systems and ignition coil upgrades and fuel injectors, all of that kind of stuff, which is definitely not what I'm going to be doing in the long run. But I also, guys, I've never had a aftermarket steering wheel. I've never had a quick release, and so this car is the perfect car to do that, and I can't wait to show you guys my first time installing a quick release. And it does come with a double din, which I was really excited about. However, this double din is ass. Like it's terrible. And I think the speakers are kind of blown out. The history behind this car from the previous owner was that it is a California car. It was made in Canada. So Toyota Matrixes and Toyota Corollas are all made in Canada. But I guess he got it in California and he drove it highway miles. I guess the guy went from Sacramento to Reno to Lake Tahoe and back during the week. That was his daily commute. So this car has a lot of highway miles on it, which, I mean, it still drives well. I did find some stuff in the engine bay that was kind of concerning, which I'll show you guys right now. Guys, I'm so excited about this car to show you guys how to take a cheap car like this and modify it to your liking. And I'm really glad that we have really good bones to start out with. So here is the famous 2ZZ motor, and unfortunately the car was having a little bit of a rough drive. When I was coming home, I was getting on the gas and it would just lose speed, and then you'd have to give it more gas to maintain that speed, and it just didn't seem like it was firing very well and very happy. So I went ahead and took the ignition coils out last night, and the spark plug looks good. However, the spark plug tube was filled with oil. All of it was just filled with oil. And then the rubber grommet that goes underneath the ignition coil, which I think, yeah, it's right there. This tube right here, this seal, I think whoever installed the spark plugs last, I don't know if it was the shop or if it was just the last previous owner, but they installed them where it was upside down, so they actually weren't sealing anything at all. And I think that's how some of the oil got out, because it was low in oil when we took it from Cali back here to Reno, and I had to fill it up with oil so that the fill line was up to where it needed to be. I went ahead and did that, and then I'm gonna get back in the car because it is windy as heck. But after I did that, I started the car, and there was a lot of smoke coming from the back, which was just that oil getting burnt up, which got done. Everything is nice, and the car runs a lot better now. The only other issue that we're having is that as soon as I get up over 60 miles an hour, the car shakes a lot. So what I have to do is I have to like rush up to about 80 and then shift into the next gear and then just chill and have it where it comes down, and then give it some gas to go up and then come down, give it some gas to go up, come down. So I know some bushings are not, well, they're blown, or not blown, but whoa, what the hell? But I know some bushings need to be replaced in this. I'm going to be doing an oil change, going to be doing a transmission fluid change as well. And this is going to be my new daily, because the daily that I have right now will be going. And it's not a sad thing. However, I just don't want to be spending money on the daily. And what I mean by that is I make monthly payments on it, and I don't want to be doing that anymore. And having this car, having it paid off, and not having to worry about anything but fixing it, dude, I am through the roof. Like, this is basically what I have in a daily but a lot older, and I don't have to pay for it, and all of that, all those funds, I'm able to put back into the channel. So I know that it's going to be a good thing, and I'm very excited for it. But I just knew that I needed a fuel efficient car that was fun, and also something that you guys would want to see. So I'm really happy I made this choice. So I'm hoping you guys are excited for this build. I'm going to be doing as much as possible to this car, as far as just making it fun to drive, making it where, you know, this is the old reliable. This is going to be basically taking the place of the 4Runner, because the 4Runner now is going to be my winter only car. So if I'm going to go up to the mountains or do any of that kind of stuff, then that is the car that I'm going to go in. And we're about to do a whole suspension upgrade and bushing upgrade, controller upgrade to the 4Runner, which I'm really excited about. But I needed something that I could get around town and not have any issues with, so that's where this car comes into play. And guys, just driving this thing already, like, I could feel that it wants to hook into the corners on the mountain roads that we have near us, where we live, and it just is so much fun to drive. It is sketchy, obviously, but once we get all of the bushings replaced, get the motor mounts replaced, and make this car happy, it's going to be just such a killer car. I'm going to put a clutch in it, and I'm just going to get everything up to where it needs to be as far as maintenance and replacing parts go, so that it will be a car that I can jump into, turn on, do whatever I have to do, come back, and then, you know, if I do need to go out and drive just to drive because I feel like it, I can hop in this car and get it out of me. So I'm really excited about that for sure. Also, I wanted to talk to you guys about another thing. So let's go ahead and talk about that other thing with you guys right now. So I did have a lot of you guys ask me what kind of car I was gonna get as far as options. And truthfully, this was not my first option, but it was the best option. And my other options were, why not go out to the dealership and get a GR Corolla? Sounds easy, right? Unfortunately, the GR Corolla is the hardest car to get right now. I could go out and get a Subaru, I can go out and get a Honda, I can go out and get any of those cars, no problem at all. However, with the GR Corolla, the amount of units that they made to allocate to each dealership, I was gonna have to be put on a list. And then also, and I was already on a list, but Vegas was charging so much over MSRP that I was not down, I couldn't afford it. And when I moved up to Reno, I went to the Toyota dealership here, and they said, we wouldn't charge you or over MSRP. However, there was like 3 people on the top of the list when the brand new GR Corollas came out. Those guys didn't even get it, because there was other guys that came in that weren't even on the list that said, hey, this is how much I can give you guys, and it was way more than the other owners could, or the other people on the list, on the priority list, could, you know, match. So they just gave them to the random guys. So for me, I didn't want to have to chance that, and at the same time, I didn't want to be going 85 miles or over and have my car blow up, because that's a lot of car payment. And with Toyota being how they are about the whole situation, about, you know, being very specific about how you drive it, and then not wanting to be put it under warranty, it was just not something I was willing to go through. And the headache and just having that car sit, I wasn't into it. Like, don't get me wrong, I want an all-wheel drive stick shift car so badly in a wagon, but I feel like this car pretty much encompasses it. Or the XRS Matrix is the predecessor of the Toyota Corolla IM, which that is also the predecessor or the base model of the Toyota Corolla GR. So basically, in a whole loop, I basically got a GR Corolla that does not have 4-wheel drive, but has a high revving motor. So I'm happy, I'm content with this. Also, I was looking into the Type R, because that was going to be something that would be fun to drive. However, the Type R didn't really have, well, a Toyota emblem, so I really couldn't do that. And I'm a Honda boy, don't get me wrong, I love Hondas. I would probably take a Honda over a Nissan. Not that I don't like Nissans, it's just all I know is Hondas and Toyotas, because the first car I had was a Civic, and then after that, all Toyotas. But for me, with you guys and my YouTube platform, a Toyota just would, it seemed more fitting for the channel, and especially with this XRS, because I tried so hard for probably a month and a half to find videos of people on YouTube doing content about this XRS, and I could not find any at all, and it was just really upsetting me. So because I'm a content creator, I told myself, you know what, if I can't find it, I'm gonna go out and get one to make it, because that's just kind of, that's the mentality I have. And this car, I don't know if it was the cheapest XRS ever, but I got a very, very good deal on it, because one, it has a lot of problems, and two, the odometer kind of that whole issue. I already know my plans are for this car, and it's going to be putting another wheel tires package on it, putting some coilovers. I'm not going to slam it though, I'm just going to have it where it sits nicely. I love the valence, which I need to fix this. I'm going to be going through and fixing all of these issues, like going to 3M tape that, do that to the other side too, 3M tape that so it's nice and secure, and probably bolt it underneath so that these valences don't come off. But the XRS was the model that got the side skirt, body kit, if you will, package, which is super cool, and it also came with fog lights. I'm not sure if the other models came with fog lights, but I do know that this one came with it. I do have to replace all of the bulbs, which I will be doing in upcoming videos, which I'm extremely excited for. I can't believe that I have this car. Like, it's one of those cars where, you know, no one would really look at it and be like, oh, that's cool, but I've done so much research into this car that I'm like, it gets me giddy inside. And I love the fact that for me, I can get giddy about a car like this, a car like the Toyota Supra that I have, and any other car that I purchase to modify, because it's just one of those things for me where I'm like, hey, I can see the vision, let's make this happen, let's do it. And I can't say enough of how much this car means to me, which is really, really, really fun to think about. And yeah, so I'll be slamming it a little bit. I will be getting some different suspension so that the coilovers are a little bit nicer. The tread, I didn't even think about it, but the tread on the back is amazing. It's like brand new tires basically. And then the fronts have seen a little bit of wear, but that's fine, because what I can do is I can do a tire rotation, and I do need an alignment on this car because the driving feel is terrible. But let's go ahead and look into the back of it one more time. So I can have a full car of people in this and still be very comfortable, which is kind of what I wanted, because nowadays I don't have a lot of people in my car, but it's good to have the option for it. My other option for getting a car was a Scion TC, because for me, those cars are super fun to drive, and they're two-door, but they have the room for 4 people in the car, and they have the hatch in the back, so you can pop the trunk up and have the hatch. But it just, not that it wasn't for me, but it was one of those things where I'm just like, no, you know what, we're not going to do that. I need to get headlights, I need to get a bunch of stuff. There's so many things on this car that need to be replaced, but I know as soon as I replace them, or this car will be perfect. And it won't be a show car by any means, but it's going to be a car that I can go hang out with people in. I can go do whatever. It's a utility vehicle. I could even go up to the mountains if I wanted to and hang out, take some pictures. I will show you a picture right now on screen of the first picture I ever took of this car in California at a Chevron gas station. And guys, I don't know why, but as soon as I took the picture, I just had a huge grin on my face, saying to myself, wow, this is amazing. Like, I've never had a car where I could just purchase it, go to a gas station, take a picture of it, and it would come out so good. It's one of those things where I was just like, I never thought it was gonna happen, but now it has. I also want to talk to you guys a little bit of the paint, because the paint has definitely seen better shape. If you guys can see, it is literally flaking off. I'm not entirely sure right now what the color code is on this car as far as the name of it, but I will put it on screen. And I am wanting to re-clear this car, so I'm probably going to do the top of it right here where all of this is flaking off, the sides, and there's a little bit of a blemish here. I don't know if you guys can see. It's like a matte finish where the clear coat rubbed off. I'm just gonna re-clear this car because I do like the gold. I mean, it's a Toyota gold. You can't go wrong with it. I think it's like I think it's an omen to have it on restorations, because, you know, the gold, the red, and the yellow with the Rasta and being that we are, you know, a Hawaiian company where we're just, any project we get, we hammer down on it and we make it, you know, as beautiful as possible. We make it right, is kind of the direction I want to go with this project, build, whatever you want to call it, the daily. So I like the gold, because if it was any other color, I don't think it would match the aesthetic of the company. So that's also why I wanted to get this car, because I think about all these things before I make a purchase, and this car just came up. I had no intention of getting it, but as soon as it came up, I was like, that's the car that I want to go. So that's what we ended up doing. So far what we have planned for this car is this. We will be doing 18-inch wheels with a little bit of a stretch on the wheels, which is going to be super cool. We're going to lower the car a little bit so that it's not slammed. I still want to be able to get over speed bumps with this thing, but I want it to be low enough so it feels good. It feels good, and it's nice to drive. Also, taking this horn out because this thing is an eyesore and it sucks. I am going to be getting a aftermarket intake for it and exhaust system, so that it flows nicely, because obviously, you know, you can't have a car without those things, you know what I mean? I don't know what brand I'm going to go yet. I'm still looking into what brand I want to get that makes sense to me for financial stake, and also makes the car actually perform better, because if it doesn't perform better and it just looks good, that's not how I build cars. I build cars for a purpose, you guys know that. So moving on, I'm going to replace all the hoses, all the air lines I can, because they are just, they're sketch, you know, like someone duct taped this, put like these really ugly hose clamps on. So we're going to be getting those replaced, putting nicer hose clamps on, make it so that you can actually enjoy to look at the engine and not have it where it's all crusty and disgusting. Also, the valve cover is going to come off. I know that some repairs were done to this car, but I'm just going to do it myself, because then I know for a fact that it was done. So oil pan's going to come off, and I'm going to reseal that. Valve cover is going to come off, I'm going to reseal that. Change all the fluids in it, change the exhaust manifold, and put a aftermarket exhaust on it, because this motor loves to rev. And here, I'll turn it on for you guys so you guys can hear the motor, because it revs so nicely. This kind of is cool, like this whole gauge cluster setup. It looks like a fighter pilot, which is kind of cool. Ooh, got that 6-speed. Yo, and then not only does it have this, which is super cool as well, but it also has a freaking 2-prong charging dock. Like what? Like what? This is so sick. And then you turn it on by that. But this thing is insane. I love that. That is one of my most favorite features for sure, is that right there. So let's go ahead. This thing is so quiet. Like if I walk away from it, like if you go over here, it doesn't even sound like it's running. It doesn't look like anything on the road. It's a very sleeper-esque, but once things get installed on this thing is going to be a certified ripper, and I cannot wait for that. So I'm super excited. And listen to this motor, guys. Thing sounds insane. Oh my god. And imagine when it has an exhaust on it, this thing is going to purr so nicely. So I'm really glad I got this car. I'm very happy with it so far. It does have a lot of little things that need to be fixed here and there. I can already see the results of this in my head, and I'm so excited to show you guys it, because not only am I gonna refinish the paint, but make it pop. Like this thing is going to look so good. Fully respray it, put a little bit of flake in the paint, because you know that's what we do here as well. So show you guys how to do that, you know, paint, restore, make it look nice, have it where it's OEM plus, which is obviously the only way I like to do things. As far as the shifter goes, I will be getting a short shifter. I might be getting another shift knob, because I feel like that's just the only way to go about it. The suspension, motor mounts, and the alignment can be done, so as soon as I start driving it, it will just be the best drive ever. And then also we have a airbag light going off. Oh, I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if the previous owner clipped it or whatever may have been, but we're gonna go ahead and get that fixed, because this is the car that I want to show you guys that you can get a very underappreciated car and make it to something that people want to see and people can appreciate, and people can see the time and effort that you put into a car, which is why I obviously wanted to get it, because I feel like this car has a lot of potential, and it's going to be a car that I can take far drives. I don't really care how many miles I put on this car, as long as I do the oil changes and as long as I do the fluid flushes. I can take it anywhere I want. Don't have to worry about how many miles I'm putting onto it, how much gas I'm putting into it, because I know this thing is super fuel efficient. It's gonna be fun because we have the 6-speed, and also it's gonna be amazing because I can put a family in here, guys. I have so much room in here. It is so nice to finally have a car that's sporty, that isn't a SUV, that I can finally put people in, put things in, and not have to worry about anything. So all in all, I think this being the first generation Matrix, which is never a car I ever thought I'd own. Actually, this YouTube channel was what pushed me to get this car, because I wanted something fun to drive, wanted something in the Toyota family, and wanted something in a hatchback orientation, because this car right here is the equivalent, or the I guess the rival of the 2005-2006 Honda Civic Si, which to me, once I read that online, I was super excited. I was through the roof. I was like, yes, I want this car. And I was thinking about getting the Corolla XRS, because that is literally the same car as, or the rival car of, the Honda Civic Si. But so my roommate has an EP3 Honda Civic Si hatch, and he gave me a ride in it, and I loved it. I don't know, I guess hatches are just growing on me, because I was wanting to get a Toyota IM hatch with a 6-speed super bad, but I couldn't get myself around spending that kind of money on a car that, you know, didn't need any work, which was one of the reasons why I didn't want to get it. But also, it's just, the Scions have the e-brake, the manual e-brake, but then the other ones, I think it's the, oh no, it's the Scion IMs have the e-brake. The Toyota IMs do not. They have an electric brake, and I did not want to have an electric brake, because then I'd have to take it somewhere to get the rear brakes done, and that's obviously something that I don't want to do, because I want to work on it. And also, guys, we have a freaking sunroof. How sick is that? And this thing is super clean for how many miles in the year it is. This is the first year of the Matrix, from the 2003 to 2005 first edition. And the gold is really growing on me. I wanted to get the dark gray color, but unfortunately all people were asking a lot more for. That is what we have, and the AC runs perfect. The heater runs perfect. And inside, you can't hear anything. There's no leaks. All the windows work. The rear view mirrors work. As far as I'm going back and forth, the hatch works. I do need to get some struts for the back hatch and then the back door. I guess the fifth door, I want to say, because it's a hatchback. The seats are really nice. They are cloth, so just OEM, nothing too special. I do have to get this car cleaned out very well. We're going to be getting a lot of content done in this car. We're going to be taking this car to get a lot of parts, take engines for machining, and go pick things up. This is going to be the car for all of that. So I can't wait to show you guys all of those things and have you guys along for the ride. I'm sure I missed some stuff in this video of everything I wanted to talk about with this car, but I know that we'll be talking about it more, because we're going to be making a lot more content with it, and you guys are going to see every step of the way. I will not do anything to this car without showing you guys. So I'm really excited about it. I'm really stoked. Hopefully you guys are excited for it as well. I just need to lower it a little bit so that it's not a freaking monster truck. Put some new wheels on it. We'll be upgrading the brakes on the front and rear if they do have them. If not, I'm just going to get better brake pads and better rotors so that the stop feel is super nice. Gonna be replacing the clutch and just everything that this car needs to run right, and then some. So we're gonna modify it nicely. All the windows are tinted, if you guys didn't see. every single one is tinted and you can't see in at all, which is amazing. So there's little things, there's so many things on this car that I don't have to do anymore, which I'm very, very excited for and very blessed, because that all adds money and it's time consuming, and you know, it's not something I really wanted to do, but now that we have all of the groundwork done, we can hit the ground running on this car with everything we want to do, like maybe carbon fiber hood. That might be cool. I just want to make this my own, make this awesome and fun to drive, and give you guys some videos of me driving it, which it's not the sportiest of cars, but it is the top trim of the Matrix Corolla family of this year. And fun fact, the XRS actually stands for Extreme Rally Sport. You have the 2ZZ, which this motor is probably one of my favorite 4-cylinder motors that Toyota ever came out with. With that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions about this car or any comments, or if you guys love the XRS, or if you guys, you know, hate the XRS, one of the two, I don't even care, drop it down in the comments. Tell me what you guys think of this, the new car on the channel, and give me your guys' feedback, because you guys know your feedback is, for me, the most important thing. And I just want to hear you guys. I want to hear you guys what you guys think. And with that being said, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate it so much. We are growing so fast on this channel, I can't even comprehend it. I get a new subscriber every single day, and I get new questions every single day, which I love responding to them. And I can't wait until we get to a spot where we are just making content, streamlining it so that everything is, I wouldn't say easier, but the community grows faster and all of you guys enjoy watching my videos, because if you guys don't enjoy watching them, then there's no reason for me to make them. So you guys are the most important people here, so I appreciate that so much. Also, quick note, if you guys haven't already, definitely go down to the subscribe button. If you guys see that it's red, go ahead and click it to make it gray. The reason why is because if you guys have already subscribed, YouTube has been doing this really weird thing where they are unsubscribing people from channels, and that's why you don't get the uploads as quickly as they get uploaded, so to speak. And just make sure that you're still subscribed and hit that bell so you guys know when I upload, and that you guys can be the first one to watch the video and be in the know before anyone else. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead to my Instagram and follow my Instagram, because that's where I put all of my up-to-date stuff, because unfortunately I can't upload things on YouTube that quick. It takes a long process. So Instagram is the easiest way to be able to connect with me, and to also be able to see everything as up to date as possible. My camera's about to die, so that means you guys are going to have to, well, not be here anymore. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Never forget, guys, always stay positive and stay true to who you are. We got XRS, guys. I'm excited as hell. Let's go. Chee-hoo. Shoots. Until next time.
Search everywhere.